Was I surprised? I wasn't. I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised, because if you have peripheral vision, you're going to sense these things out of the corner of your eye. You can't not.
Use what you're using right now to get this interview, and you can make an entire movie on that device right there.
Steven Spielberg gave Rachel Zegler the biggest break of her life, but now people are asking, did he regret it?
Like, it's really bad. It's really bad business. Number two, please stop changing all of the historic plots, which actually have meaning to generations of people, to instead become generic woke story about how woman leads revolutionary uprising and she don't need no man.
What really happened on the set of West Side Story that caused so much tension? From on-set drama to controversial interviews and a Disney movie that fans called a disaster, is Rachel Zegler facing the fallout of rising too fast in Hollywood? Rachel Zegler was supposed to be the next big star in Hollywood. Things started off strong. Steven Spielberg picked her out of thousands to play Maria in West Side Story, which is a huge deal for anyone, let alone a newcomer. Then Disney chose her to be the new Snow White, and it felt like her career was about to explode. But behind all the hype, things weren't going so well. People who were actually there during filming say Rachel wasn't the rising talent everyone thought she'd be. In fact, some now say she caused some real problems on set. Serious ones.
Is the son's name. He is speaking out publicly against Rachel Zegler and blaming her for the film's catastrophic failure at the box office. He wrote a comment on Instagram in response to someone who was upset that his dad reportedly reprimanded Zegler.
According to people who worked on West Side Story, Rachel didn't act like someone grateful for a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Instead, they say she acted like she already knew it all. She reportedly pushed back against Spielberg's direction multiple times, not in a respectful or curious way, but like she wanted to rewrite the role herself. That kind of attitude might be okay if you've been in the business for years, but for a brand new actress, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Some even said it felt like she didn't trust the people around her. And when the person giving you guidance is Steven Spielberg, one of the most respected directors alive, that kind of behavior is risky. It wasn't just the director she had problems with.
Vote for Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights.
Crew members say she often acted like she was above everyone else, even though it was her first major project. There were reports of constant tension on set, arguments, and delays in rehearsals because of her. The whole mood reportedly changed when she was around. People felt stressed, uncomfortable, and like they had to walk on eggshells. That's not what you expect from someone getting their first big break. And what's even more surprising, some people close to the film say Spielberg himself was so frustrated. He didn't want to work with her again. That's the same director who's launched some of the biggest careers in Hollywood. For him to say that about someone so early in their career says a lot. What was supposed to be a dream start quickly turned into a situation that many now say they wouldn't want to go through again. It raises a big question. Did fame come too fast, too soon for Rachel Zegler?
And it had the lowest opening, under 50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever had.
And you know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
Things didn't just get messy for Rachel Zegler while filming West Side Story. The problems followed her off set, and they only got louder. After landing the role of Maria, people were excited to see a Latina actress leading a big Hollywood film. But that excitement didn't last long. Not long after the announcement, some people behind the scenes reportedly started questioning whether Rachel was actually Latina. That might sound hard to believe, but sources say certain studio executives even asked her to prove her background. That's not just offensive, it's extremely personal. Instead of handling the issue quietly, Rachel took it public. She accused the studio of trying to question her identity, and the moment she spoke out, things blew up. What could have been handled calmly turned into a heated controversy. The focus quickly shifted from the movie to the drama. On social media, people were either defending her or accusing her of stirring up drama for attention. Soon it felt like no one was talking about West Side Story as a film anymore, they were only talking about Rachel. That kind of attention, especially for a newcomer, made people in the industry nervous. By the time the movie hit theaters, the damage was done. While critics liked the direction and visuals, the box office made numbers were disappointing. It made just $76 million, far below what it cost to produce. Behind closed doors, some insiders quietly blamed Rachel's public controversies for the film's underperformance. Her name, once linked to hope and excitement, was now tied to conflict. Then Disney stepped in, hoping to turn things around by casting her as the lead in their live-action Snow White. It should have been her huge, big second chance, but things only got worse. The movie had a massive budget, somewhere between $240 and $270 million, but it barely made back $200 million, which counts as a huge flop. Even worse, the online reviews were brutal. On IMDb, it's stuck at a dismal 2.2 out of 10. That's shockingly low for a Disney film, and much of the blame, it's falling directly on Zegler, not just for her performance, but for what she said before the movie even came out.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
In interviews, she made comments that upset a lot of fans. She said the original Snow White from 1937 was creepy and weird, and she dismissed the whole idea of true love and the prince saving the princess. Her exact words were, "She's not going to be dreaming about true love." That one line hit a nerve. For many, Snow White is a classic they grew up with, and hearing the star mock the original made people angry. They didn't feel inspired, they felt insulted. Suddenly, instead of promoting the film, her interviews were making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Rachel Zegler didn't just stir up a little trouble while promoting Snow White, she kept making things worse every time she spoke. What should have been simple interviews to get people excited about the movie turned into a series of awkward, cringeworthy moments. Instead of showing love for the original fairy tale, she acted like the whole thing was outdated and silly. She rolled her eyes at the classic love story and even laughed about the idea of a princess being saved by a prince. That didn't sit well with longtime Disney fans. Do you think Disney should have stuck closer to the original, or were the updates just handled badly from the start? Let us know in the comment section below, and for more such amazing videos, do subscribe to our channel.